This week on African Voices, advocates for equal rights.
We as African women who came mainly in the diaspora and learn things, we have a duty to help those back home.
African women living overseas speaking out for those on the continent.
We hope to bring women from all backgrounds to kind of come and hold their government to account.
Marie-Claire Farai, Rainatou So, and CNN hero Betty McConey.
When rape is used as a weapon of war, the effects and consequences are devastating for life.
Ladies and gentlemen, CNN hero Betty McConey.
When I got a global platform to be CNN hero, I've seen multitudes of young girls writing to me. We are coming to change the status quo to say there is potential we can unleash.
Executive Director of Make Every Woman Count.
Rainatou So is the founder and executive director of Make Every Woman Count, an organization that monitors female rights in every African country.
So today you have a room full of women.
She was named Inspirational Woman of 2012 by the UK group Women for Africa. Her personal interest in helping women, she says, stems from her childhood, growing up in the West African country of Guinea.
I started working on women's rights, girls' rights when I was 13.
What were you thinking at 13?
Basically, there were some girls in my neighborhood who couldn't afford to go to school. And I would go to school and come back, see them doing, housework. And so I was thinking, why? Ask my mom, why they can't go to school? She told me because they can't afford it. So if they can't go to school, I'm going to teach them. So I started giving classes to these girls.
This was back home in Guinea?
Yeah, when I was 13 years old. So whatever I learned at school, come back and teach these young girls.
Rainatou So left Guinea to attend university in London. She holds a law degree and has worked for several human rights agencies such as the International Organization for Migration, the World Health Organization and UNICEF. She created Make Every Woman Count in 2010 after the African Union launched a decade-long political initiative for women's development. This is something you are incredibly passionate about. This is something you've advocated very strongly for, and that your organization, Make Every Woman Count, has been really involved, not just by the sounds of it, not just in the implementation, but also, and this is something a lot of women, I think in general, complain about often, is that the intentions are good, but it's the follow-through that's so often lacking. And your organization is trying to make sure, by publishing this annual report and reminding people with celebrations like this, that we are watching, we as African women are watching, and we're going to judge how you do by us.
Yes, that's the message. Basically, when they launched African Women's Decade, it was in Nairobi. You had people from all over coming, delegates, African government. It was a big feast. People came all over. But then after a few months, you hardly hear about it because of the credit crunch. Basically, we didn't hear about financing that were meant to go into women project there, and it was really calm. So we thought, okay, what can we do? Are we going to sit down and let this decade pass away? Or we want to do something, mainly us as the younger generation? Because for me, I see this as an opportunity to really push the agenda of women's rights in Africa. Because most of the time, African voices are lost in the field. So every year we do the overview annual report where we do all the 54 countries, we evaluate all of them regarding what they have been doing this year on women's rights in education, reproductive health.
I mean, this is a really interesting point you're making there, that often African women what they're doing on the ground isn't highlighted. They're often seen as the victims, they're cast in very passive roles. Mm-hmm. And this is something that you say you hope to change.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Back home, you see this woman who wakes up in the morning doing everything. She's the first one to wake up, the last one to go to bed, doing business. She's doing so much at the same time. I mean, you come here, what you see as the image of that woman is the victim.
Along with an annual report detailing the treatment of women in every African country, the Make Every Woman Count website also gives local women a voice. They highlight videos from organizations like this one from the United Nations Development Organization and use social media and other tools to connect women and their works.
By using the power of social media, of internet, really reaching out women around Africa and around in the diaspora here. And that's what we're trying to do, really give the voices, to show the voices, the work, and to really give African women the voices they deserve that we haven't seen so far. So I think that's really missing. Whatever you do, we should make sure that we invite those women to come to tell their own story, because that's how you could best help her, not you talking for her.
Do you think it's really hard to get donors and the international community to move beyond the mindset of, you know, the emergency aid to more sustainable things?
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. A lot of women are really raising their voices about that, because there's no sustainability, and that's the big problem, that after so many years of aid, we haven't seen any impact on the ground. So maybe for me it's about time to maybe sit and look back, what have we done wrong and how can we improve things?
To try and feed local community,
and then go ask people, so what have you already done here? I
want to quote you to yourself here. You said that you're the kind of person who's not happy with just being told that the water is wet, that you have to jump in and see for yourself.
Yeah, I have. I mean, life is about taking risk, right? If we haven't jumped in the water, we wouldn't know what will happen, so I'm glad we did. We can't just sit there and wait for people to do the job for us. We, as African women who came mainly in the diaspora and learn things, we have a duty to help those back home and to give back to Africa, because there's a lot of challenges there.
A sentiment Marie-Claire Faré agrees with. She's from the Democratic Republic of Congo and has been working with SAO's organisation in London to create change.